Well, here it comes.
It's that 4-fan roll, yeah, we ride real slow. Texas bass hitting while the Carolina flow. From the whistles to the winds, every tale they record. Adam and Jack hold it down on 4th and Ward. Southside swing with the coach and Lord. Real life stories, yeah, they back for more. Turn the beat up loud, let the truth restore. You locked in now with the 4th and Ward.
Yes, you're going to have to keep me updated on that. James Madison, over 14.5 points. That's the bet I took.
Well, Oregon just had a 41-yard touchdown pass. That dude caught it. I mean, like, tipped it to himself, snagged it one-handed, and then somehow he might be down before the goal line.
I mean, I got no doubts that Oregon's probably going to win the thing, or win this game at least. I mean, it's kind of like the Ole Miss Tulane game that we saw.
We got some swinging gate going on.
From Oregon? I love it. I'll dream of that, Jack.
They going for it. Oh, my.
Man, old Tulane caught it on the chin, didn't they?
Oh, that was rough. I stopped watching that after.
That was rough. Yeah, I went and took the baby on a walk. I was like, we did Christmas. We did me, my wife, my kids. We did our Christmas this morning since we're coming back to South Carolina here in a couple of days. Like, I woke up, we did Christmas, drank the chocolate milk, ate the breakfast casserole, did the presents. And then it got to like 4 o'clock and I was like, I ain't moved all day. So I just like grabbed the baby in the stroller and like just walked laps around the neighborhood.
I'll tell you how bad the game was. So bad that I started wrapping presents, and like I did it for a solid 2.5 hours. That's literally, I came right from that to this. That's how bad the game was. But we did the opposite today. Instead of being on the couch, so I got one of those, it's probably illegal, but those boxes in the car that you can watch the TV on your screen. Yeah. So I got one of those in my truck, and we had to get some more Christmas gifts today. And so we ventured out to like Satan's Spawn, Woodruff Road on the weekend before Christmas. And not only Woodruff Road, but the shops at Green Ridge, like the biggest cluster on Woodruff Road, especially this time of year.
For the folks from Texas that are listening, Woodruff Road in Greenville, South Carolina is akin to 635 or Highway 80 in the Dallas area. Like it's standstill.
Dude, it took us 25 minutes to get out of the parking lot at Dick's Sporting Goods just to get like to somewhere else. And it was annoying because they were all pickup orders. So like I just went in, grabbed it, got out. But then I had to sit in the car for 25 minutes just to get out of my parking spot. But anyway, we're pretty much wrapped up with Christmas presents now. So
that's a good feeling.
It's the best time of year, right?
Yeah.
You got to remind yourself of that when you're sitting in traffic.
Especially like this week leading up to the break, you're just sitting there like survival mode at the school. Of course, what we had to help pass the time this week out this way was the Texas High School State Championships. Those started Wednesday. So they run 3 games a day, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and today's the big 5As and 6As play today. So and it's on the Victory Plus thing where it's free. You can stream it. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to watch it. So
I was about to say, you texted me the other day about, was it six-man football?
Wednesday was the 6-man games, dude. That was
I had to check that out.
So Wednesday at 11 a.m. was 1A Division I, so like the bigger 1As. All the 1As play 6-man. Well, there's this like dynasty out west of like Abilene named Gordon, and I think this was their 3rd in a row. I mean, but they just been dominant. Well, Jack, just for craps and giggles, earlier this year they played an 11-man game and won by like 3 or 4 touchdowns.
So they just taught these other guys like, you're gonna play left tackle today, so you're gonna throw it, you're just gonna block. All right, you can't go out for a pass.
Did you get a chance to watch any of the 6A action?
I watched a little bit. So Wednesday was our first day of exams, so it got a little hectic about that time, but I did catch a little bit of it.
No, so they kept pulling up the rule differences because a lot of the audience is pretty new for them. If there's somebody from outside of Texas watching it. So it was good for me because, some of the things I wasn't too keen on, like the center being eligible if there's like a clean transaction in the backfield, now the center can run a route. So like sometimes they would do like a little toss to the running back. And then, once that running back catches it, that center releases. I saw a big man touchdown in one of the games. I don't know. It's just fun, dude. Yeah,
I bet it
it's
is fun
fun.
to watch. It's probably more not like arena ball, but you know what I mean, where it's
Yeah,
there's
zany.
more action. Yeah, there's more
Yeah.
scoring, more stuff like that. But because you sent me
Speak.
one that was it was 1A Division II,
Yeah,
and it was the final. What is it? Jayton and Richland
Jayton.
Springs played
Yeah,
99-54.
yeah, dude. It got nasty. And here's the thing: in 6-man, if I think at any point in the second half, if a team gets up by 45, there's a mercy rule, even in the state games.
Like that is
Yes,
insane.
the Jayton Jaybirds is their mascot, by the way. Yeah, dropped 99 in the state championship game. So them getting that 99th point triggered the mercy rule. So
That
it just
triggers the okay. So it's the
like
deficit.
as in the second half, as soon as the deficit's 45, they
Okay.
call it. So yeah, that Gordon
Wow.
team I was telling you about in 1A Division One, I think there was only like 4 or 5 teams all year that didn't get mercy ruled by them. Like, here's the thing about them. So it's 6-man football, right? I'm watching the broadcast. Well, 2 of their starters are state champion track kids. So 2 of your 6 on the field are literally the fastest guys at AT&T Stadium during that, during those games.
Hit him with the
Like,
fade. Throw
just
it up.
toss left, toss right, and then put them at safety or whatever you call it
Yeah.
in 6-man. Like, yeah, and they would pull up the lineups on the broadcast, and it's like tight end, center, tight end, and then the backfield's just quarterback, running back, running back. Like that's
That's
the lineup. Yeah,
that's
it's pretty
insane.
neat. And then
That's
the nightcap that night was a 2A game, so that was the first 11-man game. But it's just fun because it's like 12 straight. I mean, it's 12 straight games, like back to back to back to back. Like, oh man, it was great.
yeah.
Of course, it stirred up a lot of the big debate around the country about, because I guess Georgia had their state games last week or whatever, and so it's fresh on people's minds. So everybody's debating like, yeah, Texas ball ain't all that, Georgia ball, blah blah blah, California, Florida, blah blah blah. Did you see what Warren Sapp tweeted?
No.
He tweeted that Texas high school football is not real football. I'm like, buddy, are you kidding? Like, there's a reason it's always in people's breath.
Yeah, like if you said Rhode Island football is not like okay, sure, I ride with you on that. But to say like Texas, which is one of the, when you think of top high school prospects, it's like Texas, Florida, Georgia, all those states you mentioned, and yeah, that's a bold move, Warren Sapp. And is he at Clock?
Yeah, yeah. And somebody captioned one of his tweets from, I guess, the summer or fall camp or whatever, and they got their position group walking by, and they're asking everybody where they're from. Dude, like every kid was from Texas.
So what is even?
Yeah, Dion was coaching out here like before he made the jump to Jackson State. Like, I don't know. He had too much hop water, I think.
Yeah, he must have been like 3 or 4 deep in the hop water. But JMU's driving right now.
Let's go Dukes, baby.
But yeah, it was a crazy week for a couple of reasons on my end, at least. We won't get into one of them, but the other one is the high school league they released the realignment. So the classifications for the next 2 years. If you don't know, South Carolina does that every 2 years. They look at enrollment and some schools bump up, some bump down in classifications. And so the way they do it, what's you popping over there?
Popping another. I'm in my second hop water myself. I'm going to be talking like Warren Sapp here in a little bit.
I'm about to say, I got to go restock. But
You already know the code, guys.
Yeah, 4th and Ward, number 4, THANDUARD at hopwater.com, HOPWTR.com. $10 off your order. Go ahead and hit it up. But the way the high school league does this in South Carolina is absurd. Not necessarily how they do the numbers and all that stuff, but the way they release it is cowardly. Okay? They release it the Friday before Christmas break at end of day. So like at 4:00 on Friday before a 2-week break where their offices are closed, they send this out and just let us sit with it. To avoid, phone calls, people calling them off the hook. And I get that to a certain point, but like that also is kind of your job. But anyway, we're staying 3A, so nothing's really changing for us. But
yeah, I saw the tweets, and there was a lot of people that shared that same sentiment. Like, it seems like it's just you expect them to do that now. Like the 5 o'clock news drop on a Friday and ride off into the sunset for 2 weeks.
And like they don't announce when they're going to do it, but like we all know, like we all like, oh, they're releasing them later this week. Yeah, Friday at 4:00. They're going to shoot them out, and then we're all going to see. But
So
I
what's
mean,
interesting to me, so you pulled up the 1A numbers right there. So the biggest 1A school still has 489 kids.
and now this is 9th through 11th. They didn't count seniors into this. And you also have the multiplier. So if a kid lives out of the zone district for the school, that kid counts as 3.
Okay.
And so that's this enroll. It's not a true enrollment. It's only 3 grade levels, and any out of district kids count 3 times.
That makes a little sense because I looked at the biggest school. Like if you go up to the 5A numbers.
So here's the
So
Dorman's
the
the
biggest
biggest.
school in the state, and I remember I knew Dorman had to be up there, right? Dorman, Wando, some of those other big ones. But I saw that number and saw, 2,929, and I'm sitting there like, that's how many kids we got, like, and that's the biggest
Yeah.
school. But that makes sense now if you're saying that's not a true
It's
enrollment
only
number.
3 grades, and though they did
Okay.
it different this year. They started from the bottom. So 1A is the biggest classification in terms of number of schools.
Okay.
And I think they're going to split it. There'll be 2 divisions in 1A. But if you look, I mean, 2A or 1A has 66 schools in it, one of which is the School for the Deaf and Blind, who has 44 kids.
Crap, I forgot they play football. Heck
Yep.
yeah, let's
Yeah.
go.
I think it's maybe 6-man, 8-man, something like that.
All
but
right.
they play. But yeah, so I was kind of wondering if we were going to bump down. We didn't. We stayed in 3. Notable changes around us. Wren bumped down to 3A.
Okay.
Most of the others stayed relatively the same. One interesting thing I did notice was, so class 4A last year, I think Gray Collegiate Academy, which is a charter school in the lower part of state, well, kind of near Columbia, I think. This was the school that opened the second campus, the satellite campus,
Okay.
right? Well, there's a big, issue with that around. A lot of people had problems, yada, yada. So they have gone from 4A, I believe they were 4A this year. They got bumped up to 5A. And so they're playing, I think Dutch Fork, Somerville, all these huge schools with, really good programs. So it'll be interesting to see how
Where did the
they
where'd the
fare.
Oceanside and what's the other one called? MVP?
So Oceanside still in 3. They stayed. MVP bumped down to 2.
God, it's over.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they're right here. I don't know about that. Yeah, that's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of teams like Crescent High School, they were 3A, now they're 2. Liberty stayed 2. One thing I will mention is, like, some of the schools, I think it's like Carolina Academy, they're now in 2A. And I think that's appropriate for, one thing people argue is that they shouldn't count just total kids. They should do kids involved in athletics and that's kind of issue. But the only support I can think of for that is, like, our high school has special needs programs in the district. Like, we have the only, I can't remember what it is, self-contained program of a certain style, whatever, in the district. So anybody in the district who needs that program comes to us. That counts. They count as 3.
Oh, no, that's bad.
And when you
Like,
count
that's
that,
not,
like, that shouldn't affect
that
your
should be in
numbers.
a special population thing and totally
Yeah.
be disregarded. Like, there's got to be some way they're coding all this in whatever system y'all use for attendance and all that to where
I'm gonna be honest. All it looks like the high school league's looking at is this spreadsheet, and this don't look very, official. It's not even formatted the same. Look at these rows. Those 2 rows, 16 and 17, are not the same size.
well, I
Come on, man.
mean, I have seen a lot of grumblings about the high school league. I think it goes back to the state game and just y'all playing South Carolina playing their state games at is it South Carolina State?
Yeah, well, they did it at South Carolina State.
That's the one in Orangeburg, ain't it?
It is, but they did it at I want to say something with a B. Benedict. I think they did it at Benedict
For the lower ones?
for all
For
of them.
the
For state.
this year?
It might have been SC State this year. It's one of those 2.
Either
can't
way,
remember which.
either way, I just heard some grumblings about the setups and how they're shuffling these teams in and out, and maybe the accommodations not being the best for fans and media and everybody else. Play clock's not working, stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, and granted, they're in a tough spot. Someone's always going to complain about something. I
Sure.
get it. But it does seem like they could do a better
little
job.
more. I mean, I don't know. I just watched some of Georgia's stuff last week. They're obviously, and I think some of it's too, there's not a pro facility.
Right.
And then obviously the college venues might be too expensive or whatever. So you really don't have anything that would meet that middle ground until you drop down to FCS or whatever. But I don't know. I'm watching Georgia. Looks like they do a pretty good job. They use Mercedes-Benz, big venue, doing it right for the kids, memorable moment. Obviously, we do AT&T out here and multiple locker rooms. So you don't have to worry about somebody being in the locker room when the next team comes in. Like there's good Lord, 4 to 6 different locker rooms that they kind of put people in. And then, just the production value. Like, I don't know if you watch some of those games, like for the intro of every Texas high school state championship game, they did like this really cool little intro video. They brought old Buddy Garrity out from Friday Night Lights to do the intro talk, dude. It got me hyped up, patriotic. And I mean, and then you get great attendance too. Like in those 1A games, for example, Jack, Gordon, the school I was talking about, they only got 75 kids in the whole school. Town might have 1,500 kids. The school they're playing, same deal. Well, there was 6,000 people there watching that game, and only 3,000 are those two towns combined. You know what I'm saying? It's just it's a spectacle. And so you get people going, you making an event. Shoot, one of the 6A games today, there was 40,000 people there almost.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, but it's because there's investment in it. It's a big production. We got a lot of options for venues out here, but even if we didn't get to play it at AT&T, you would still probably have some other options that were, I think, better than what schools in South Carolina are getting to have. But I don't know. It just seems like they could do a little more. Take notes. Go take notes.
Another issue people are having is, these charters in private schools, and that's a whole other argument.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you straight up, I do not like charter schools. I do not like private schools, probably because I'm a public school teacher. And sure, some of y'all probably going to say a charter school is a public charter school, yada, yada, whatever. But you know what I mean? There's differences.
In the athletics sense.
In the athletic sense. If, and really, it's the whole thing. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but if you're a private school and you want to have your own curriculum, and you're a religious private school and you want to have a curriculum based on that, totally fine with that. No issues.
People pay a premium to go have that educational experience.
Yeah, no problem there. The issue is that it's just, I'm a fan of a traditional public school built of kids in the area and schools that can kind of recruit. Maybe that's not the right term. And they say they don't. They say there's lotteries. They say there's this whole selection. It's open to anybody who wants it. Okay, but if you have a meeting where parents get information on that stuff, guess who the first ones invited to that meeting probably are going to be? Your athletes.
Yeah. And if you're making a charter school where your whole theme for your charter school is athletics.
Yeah.
Well, who's going to be taking their kids to go there?
If you're a sports and entertainment charter school, well, who do you think is going there?
Exactly. Yeah. And if you're setting it up near largely a more populated area or a more metropolitan area, you are drawing literally the folks who are seeking that type of education or program out from a, population center of 500,000 people. You're going to get a higher cream of the crop concentration than if you drive out to the middle of nowhere and, just scooped up gin pop from around there and try to coach them up and play a football game. There's just, it's not set up the same. It's not a fair system. If you're going to let them compete, that's fine and dandy. They don't get to play in the playoffs.
Yeah. Or they have their own league, something. I mean, sure. I don't.
And if there's only 4 of them, let them play each other. Who gives a rip? Let them play each other. That's
just the deal. I mean, if you're going to one of the schools, that's the deal. And a lot of it's not even the school's fault necessarily, because the law allows them to do that. So, they're working within the law. They're not doing anything technically wrong. So, there's a whole bucket of things there to go through. But it's frustrating because We haven't had to experience that kind of thing yet where, we're going against a school. We've played private schools, but again, I don't have necessarily a huge issue with them. They can still do a lot of the same things as recruiting because they, can give tuition a waiver to a kid or to let him waive tuition so he can come to school there because he's a really good basketball player or whatever it may be. There's still advantages there, but I don't know. I think the public charter thing really gets under my skin. I really don't like it because they're kind of skirting saying they're a public school when they're really not going by the same rules. And it's a mess. But
Well, if a kid goes there and violates whatever the charter is for that school, well, they can send him back to home base
yeah,
and get to keep on keeping on. Like if you're at a traditional public school and Johnny can't act right, Johnny gonna be there the next day. Like it is what it is.
yeah,
Like unless he does something real dumb, he gets alternative school or something like that. Like he's
yeah.
gonna be there.
And people argue that, like, well, they serve, regular students too, regular in the sense if they don't play athletics or they don't play sport. Okay,
And
but
that
like, what kind of special ed program do they have? Do they house, the same proportion of students with special needs that a public school would? And they don't. And they can say, they have those kids there, but at the end of the day, they don't have the requirement to serve any kid that walks in the door like a public school does. They have, an advantage in terms of funding, especially private schools because they have tuition revenue coming in. It's a whole thing. I'm gonna get off my soapbox, but something's got to be done about it. Otherwise, it's just going to keep leading to issues. And
well,
if it's not addressed, then
they passed the voucher thing out here a year or so ago, and then this was the first realignment kind of post that piece of legislation. And the number for 6A actually dropped in our realignment. They dropped our numbers this past week too for what's going to constitute 6A, 5A, 4, all the ones. And I think the 6A cutoff for this year dropped by like 60 students. So like some of those schools that kind of thought, yeah, we're going to get to be a bigger 5A now, that number dropped and they're still in 6A D2 or whatever. And it's like, well, here we go. And there's been some shuffling. We'll have the full district realignments and stuff like that come out like in February probably. But I think ours is kind of set in stone. I think we'll add one school in and make it an 8-team district. So then we'll play 2 non-district games, and that'll be our 10 game run. And yeah, should
yeah,
be interesting. I don't know if there'll be much shakeup with us, but there's some other spots that are definitely going to see some moving around.
yeah. And one thing I think y'all have the way y'all's public schools are funded in terms like specifically athletics, like the facilities y'all have and things like that. I think helps avoid the issues that South Carolina has right now with this kind of thing because your public school facilities are very nice, very big. Stadiums are awesome. Facilities are awesome. Kids want to go there. Whereas now you have kids at like a 1A school that doesn't have a lot of money that may be plucked from there to go to this charter school that can help them athletically get recruited, whatever. One thing I will give charter schools credit. The one thing that I think public schools should really look into, and I know the law may not allow them to do that, and that's kind of the perk of the charter school is that they have that kind of flexibility, more autonomy to kind of change curriculum, that kind of stuff. Is a lot of those schools are built towards like you graduate high school with an associate's degree from a local tech school, whatever. I think high school should really get more into that. Now you can take dual credit classes, dual enrollment classes, and get college credit in a public school, but not to the extent that a charter school does because they don't have to follow some of those same raw regulations that a traditional public would. And I think public high schools at the state level need to look into opening that up a bit because it's a great advantage for a kid. And, I can't fault a parent that sees a charter school can offer their kid that, why wouldn't you take it? Your kid's getting a head start. I get it. And so I think one thing that could kind of help with that is if public schools kind of dove into that more. But again, that's a statewide thing and I'll get off my soapbox now, but
Yeah,
it's a headache.
I think the main thing is just it creates some more competition. And so, like you said, it's going to have to cause traditional public schools maybe up their game a little bit. It's definitely something that where I'm at, we've tried to do different programs and stuff so that, like you said, like make it so good that nobody wants to leave because
Exactly.
now
Yeah.
they'll be able to, and they're going to take their taxpayer dollars with them to the
Yeah.
next spot that they want to go. And, so our school district opened up its own virtual academy, like, so you can literally be a remote student. You can just show up and do football if you want, do all your classes on the Chromebook. And we got the dual enrollment where you can graduate with your associates and all that. Got that big building in town where they do all the career training and stuff, and has the giant arena and all the bells and whistles and all that.
Yeah.
I think it's just their way of saying like it's really good here too. Like I've heard of some charter schools that do football out here, but like you said, because they don't have the like you got to find your own money if you want to build a nice stadium and stuff. And so anybody who's serious
Mm-hmm.
about football is like, no, I think I'm just going to keep playing over here where, we got a big old weight room and an indoor and, teams winning and all this and that. And
Yeah.
it just, it breeds. Now there's some charter schools basketball wise that I think have some success, but I mean, you can pop up a basketball gym way easier than you can,
Yeah. You
a
can
football
use.
stadium or you can go
Yeah.
use a local gym, basketball gym or something like that. Make that work a little easier. But in the football sense, the charter schools I can think of are dog waters.
Yeah. And it's specifically in athletics. They can do their whatever curriculum, whatever program they have, and they're done by noon. So they're practicing. So you're done with everything. A kid is done with everything from school to practice at 3.
Yeah. Yeah. You can't beat that.
I mean, that's hard to compete with because they're exempt from those certain regulations. They don't have to deal with that. And, whereas and I'm not saying this is a general statement, so don't attack me, but for the most part, kids that are going to make, or kids' parents who are going to make the decisions to send them to those kind of schools are
Care
usually
about their
more
education.
affluent, usually care about education more. Whereas the kids in a public school, you get everybody. It doesn't matter what socioeconomic status, religion, anything. Anybody in that area goes to you. And, there are days where we don't have school. It's a holiday, but we have practice. If the buses don't run, some of our kids aren't going to be able to be there through no fault
Yeah.
of their own. Whereas at a charter school, I don't think you'll face that, or even a private school, you're not going to face that as much just because, for the most part, status of people that go there is usually more affluent, higher socioeconomic status, a little more education levels, probably higher for the most part, and things like that. Yeah, I don't know. The high school, he's got to do something about it at some point. And I know they're limited by state legislation, but
Yeah.
you can tell I've had too much free time because I've been just going down rabbit holes and I'm getting all this out.
On a lighter note, this is going to end up being the Christmas episode, so we might need to
let's switch up.
spin it a little more positive. We're kind of down in the dumps over here. Nah, we had the state games this week. Yeah, some of these mascots out here. Yeah, we had a team playing Thursday or Friday. Their mascots, the zebras. All right. I sent you a picture, I think, maybe of you talked about our run out tunnel, the big jackrabbit ears.
Mm-hmm.
They had a zebra head as their run out tunnel.
See if I can find it. I got about 1 million in here.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was sending a lot of links this week. Like, check this out. Oh, check this out. Yeah, so this is Grandview High School. Now, this is a little south of Fort Worth, I guess you would say. So still a Metroplex school.
This thing's not cooperating right now. Boom. All right, there we go.
Yeah, so we got the zebra tunnel, dude.
That's incredible.
With the red eyes. Yeah, that's custom, man.
That is incredible. And it's not even like, a lot of blow ups, you lose some of the, I don't want to say realism, but like they don't look like a legit jackrabbit or something. It's like you could tell it's cartoonish or whatever because it's a giant inflatable tunnel. This is actually a pretty realistic inflatable zebra. I mean,
I always said if they could like set it up, like if the team's running out of the tunnel and like you just do the blow up right at the exit of the locker room or tunnel onto the field, and you don't have that like little awkward stretch where you're out there just standing behind the blow up, like that would make the blow up so much better. But I saw that and I was like, if Jack liked the jackrabbit tunnel, he's gonna love the zebra tunnel.
That thing is awesome.
But there's gosh, trying to think of some of the other stuff I saw this weekend.
My favorite is I think it's just straight nostalgia. Is the reason this is my favorite is from the Xbox Bowl.
Yes. The Xbox Bowl, man, it might be right up there now with the Pop-Tart Bowl and the Cheez-It Bowl.
Like,
the Xbox Bowl went all in, dude. Like, they did it up there at the Star in Frisco. Thursday night, I was having a couple cold pops cut on the TV. I'm like, oh, the Xbox Bowl's on. We were just talking about that last week. And I see was it Master Chief from Halo?
Yeah.
Riding out on a warthog. I'm like, dude, this is awesome.
That's hard to beat, man. it gives throwback to when we were like I don't even know how old we were, but when we were playing Halo 3 maybe, and the Banshees, and you were like flying around.
2008, maybe. I remember at
Yeah.
one point we had Halo on a flash drive, and this was back when you had to go to computer labs. You didn't have, not everybody had an iPad or Chromebook. Like you had to go to a room where there were 20 desktops set up.
Yep.
If you needed to type or print or whatever. Well, we'd get in there during study hall with a flash drive that had Halo on it. You just pass the flash drive around the room. We're all playing Halo in the middle of class. No, that was. Did you see what the MVP trophies look like?
No, I didn't.
So after the Xbox Bowl, they brought the guy out that won, offensive MVP or whatever. Well, you remember in an Xbox game, if you beat a level or score a high score or something, it pops up with the little achievement bar at the bottom.
Yeah.
The trophy for the game for MVP was the achievement sign. It said like achievement unlocked, offensive MVP 2025 Xbox Bowl. I was like, dude, that is it, leaning all the way into it.
That is sick. I just pulled up a picture of it. Is this let me get my screen shared over there. Like it's literally not even a trophy. It's just like a giant.
It looks like one of those big like checks after you win, the lottery or something like that.
That is sweet.
But it says achievement unlocked. It's got that green color. Looks like it's straight off the TV. The trophy's
awesome.
playable. Did you see that? The trophy's actually a playable console.
That is sweet.
Yeah. Hats off to the Xbox Bowl. They are, it's now up there. I might have to go next year. I don't care who's playing. It could be Missouri State again. I'm going to ride out to the Xbox Bowl.
I might have to fly down for that because that's going to be, that's just cool to see. And another one, speaking of the bowls, the Pop-Tart Bowl. Okay?
Well, yeah, they're leaning into it.
Full state. So first, here's the first one I'm going to throw at you if I can get it to cooperate. All right. So first off, the helmets, like the commemorative bowl game helmets.
Yeah, this is the one made by the Pop-Tart Bowl.
Sick.
Yeah, these were sick.
Sick. The sprinkles on the stripe.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. And then not only that, I felt like there was a third one. All right. Not only that, but you have the coaches.
The trophy's a toaster. Like, that's sick. That is sick.
And it actually toasts.
Wait, it actually does?
Like
I thought they were just doing it. Yeah, they are, ain't they? Oh, my gosh.
That is just sick. When is that game? Because that's actually a pretty good matchup.
That should be New Year's Day, maybe?
That
or
is
it might be in the run-up to Christmas, actually. It might be in this coming week. I know I'll be watching. Because, they always sacrifice that one Pop-Tart mascot.
Yeah.
Through the giant toaster, and everybody eats them at the end.
And then the last... Oh, that was the audio from the video. I'm losing it. Cheez-It Bowl. Commemorative mini helmets.
Yeah, now they got the color scheme down pat. I like the little Cheez-It shaped football on the stripe. So, hey, circling back to the Pop-Tart Bowl, did you see Georgia Tech and BYU actually put the sprinkles on the stripes they're going to wear on their helmets?
Are they actually doing that?
Yes. They did their uniform release, and Georgia Tech's are pretty sweet. Nothing like on the uniform itself, but on the helmet itself in that stripe, just like on those commemorative helmets, they've got the sprinkles in there. Both BYU and Georgia Tech are doing that. Which I appreciate teams leaning into it too.
Those are sick.
The Georgia Tech ones look real good.
Their color scheme is kind of set up. They're white and the gold. They can kind of go whatever direction they need to go. But those are,
that's so clean. Yeah, that's
and
they put it in the decal too. I didn't even notice that one when I first looked at it.
That's awesome. Their equipment guy needs to get on that though. There's a little stainage on the jersey. They could have cleaned that up.
When I first looked at it, I thought that was another sprinkle, and then I was like, that's actually just a scuff mark on the jersey.
That is awesome. And then BYU.
BYU did it on the front bumper. In the back bumper?
Yeah.
The BYU might take the cake.
Their blue just goes, like it picks up the sprinkle blue. That just goes very well. And the reflective, it just looks nice.
You know what? I'm switching my vote. BYU won the uniform contest for
That's sweet.
because I didn't notice the bumpers on the helmets having the sprinkles on them too. That's
And
sick.
that's an interesting strategy for the helmet stripe on a speed flex. So like this is normal to cut the stripe like a relief cut there. That's normal.
Yeah.
But to cut it on that back ridge and then continue it below, it's an interesting strategy.
I didn't notice that till you pointed it out. You got an eye for that. We
Like,
just leave ours.
Yeah, we
on
just
the-
press it down, and if you work
Yeah.
it, get a heat gun, it'll work fine. I don't know why it's interesting. I wonder if Georgia Tech did it. Get out of here.
I don't know if they had the helmet from that angle. Yeah,
I don't
we're going to
think
check
so.
that out when the game cuts on.
Interesting.
Man, another one, we talked about schools leaning into their bowl games, and we talked about how TCU that one year at the Rose Bowl had the frog with the rose in the mouth. Well, I think I saw Indiana is going to weave a rose through the IU on their helmets. It could have been fake news, but I'm pretty sure I saw it from a reliable source. It might have been from their official account.
Let's see. I'm not seeing anything. I'm seeing concepts.
Dang it. Maybe I got tricked maybe.
But I don't know if it's actually happened.
Is that one of the few links I didn't send you this week? Dang it. I dropped the ball on that one.
I mean, I have it pulled up. It's a clean look. I mean, let me get it over here. That's hard to beat. It's classic. It's timeless. Is that the one you saw, or did you see a different one?
No, the one I saw had IU, and it had the rose through the IU.
Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I bit into some fake news, but I know one that is real is California. The Bears, they're playing in the Hawaii Bowl this year, and they have changed their logos, their decals up on the helmet to like a Polynesian type look, texture within the logo and the stripes and all that. And I thought these turned out pretty good.
Yeah, that's sick. Is there more pictures or just the one?
I found some later, but this was just the one on the picture I sent you.
Yeah,
if you click on their actual page right there, or is that a knockoff?
This is Cal Polynesian Golden Bears. That's not real. I don't think
that's not the real one. They got Marshawn Lynch in the.
That's cool though.
That's cool.
I like that a lot. What bowl are they in? The Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. Okay, that makes sense. I don't know what the comment there was.
It's still the Sheraton Hawaii Bowl. That makes my heart happy too.
12,
and
24,
that one's always
25.
that one's always Christmas Eve because anytime we were at Nanny and Papa's growing up, Christmas Eve night, they were gonna have that Hawaii Bowl on.
Deviled eggs in the Hawaii Bowl.
Hammering some deviled eggs.
I tell you one, you sent one from the Myrtle Beach Bowl that I can appreciate as someone who,
if anybody's ever been to Myrtle Beach. Yes. So the guys calling the game at the Myrtle Beach Bowl are rocking hoodies straight out of the gift shop at like, what is it? Eagles,
wings, any of them, like all kind
Waves, all those like beach shops. And it's even got like the tie-dye color scheme.
Yeah.
And they're wearing their button-down shirts underneath it. Like you can see that guy's.
Why didn't you just embrace it? Did they do this the whole game or just for like a little
I don't know. I just saw this picture. This game came on like 11 a.m. on like Thursday or Friday. Like, what are we doing? Bowl games.
I remember that. Yeah, because I was watching.
It was in the middle of the day. I mean, I was tuning in more to the Texas high school football games than some of these other bowls, and I kind of wanted to see the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
Sorry, I just got to see what this artwork is right here and whoever's house this is. Interesting.
But yeah, I got Kenny Powers vibes watching the Myrtle Beach Bowl.
What a show! All-time show.
Western Michigan ran away with it. They beat the brakes off of Kennesaw State, right? That's who they played.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah, it got pretty ugly.
It got dicey.
I'm kind of pumped. What's the JMU update?
Let's see. I'm in a slow-mo replay. Looks like a field goal got blocked. So it is 13-3. Oregon.
Okay.
With 13 left in the second quarter.
Okay.
So a lot of game
14
left.
and a half, guys. 14 and a half. That's what I need. Nah, we got Christmas coming up, man. And, just wanted to go ahead and take a second to thank everybody for watching and tuning in. It won't be too long, Jack. We'll be hitting the 1 year mark on the podcast. And, we'll be doing hopefully some live recordings while I'm in town next week, Jack,
Yeah.
and can give the folks. So we'll try to record a couple and knock them out. So y'all got something to listen to over the break. But just wanted to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and all that good stuff. And Jack, y'all got any big plans other than just kind of hanging around town?
Hanging around town, and then after Christmas, I actually fly up to Massachusetts and see my fiance's family, hang out with them until I think the 3rd, and then we come back, and then the 5th or 6th, we're right back
in
to
the swing
school.
of it, dude.
I ain't even mad though, because I got a new 4th block, fresh set, and there ain't no way they can be as bad as the last. So I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll be back, and I think we'll be able to get most of our first period freshman guys all shifted into 8th period with the older guys. So we'll be able to do off season right and let the young pups learn from the older guys, and especially just how to make their way around the weight room without getting anybody hurt. And saw some just shenanigans this week. Leading up, schools are losing their heads anyway in that week leading up to Christmas break.
It's a battle.
Yeah, and it's like some things that we had just gotten fixed, in weight room operations. It's like it totally got forgotten. I saw a kid almost get decapitated because they tried clearing one side of the squat bar off before they cleared the other side off. And so the bar just goes almost flying. I'm like, guys, y'all have been lifting like in this same routine for 6-7 months now. Like, how have y'all not learned you can't do this yet? But whatever. But shout out to all the educators out there fighting through this past week.
I think I saw somewhere like New York. I think they're going to school Monday and Tuesday.
Bold strategy,
That is terrible.
Bold strategy.
Terrible. But speaking of the weight room, we did maxes, this week so that we had a number to go off when we get back, and we were doing power cleans, and scared the life out of me. This kid, he gets the weight up and he goes to get under it, shoots his elbows up. And I'm telling you, when this dude goes deep, like he got it up, got it on his chest, got under it, and you just see him go down, down, down. I'm like, he's about to just drop it. No, the dude stops. I kid you not, his shoulders are at his knees, and he's still got it up. And then like a centimeter at a time, just like all the way back up. And I'm just sitting here like, dude, I thought you blew out everything in both of your knees, and you somehow got that up. Like, great job, but you're done. Like that's the number.
We're gonna call it out. We're gonna write that number down. It
was incredible. I mean, it was insane. Like if I tried to do that, my tibia would be like through my skin. Like I couldn't do it.
It's a good thing they're young. God dang.
Yeah, he ain't gonna be able to do that in about 10 years. He won't be able to do that anymore. But
nah,
he got it
before we get to team of the week, Jack, I do want to give a shout out to one of our former teams of the week, West Orange Stark. You remember them, Jack?
Yeah.
They had the press box catch on fire. They had a big showdown. They made the state championship this year. It did not work out well for them, but they made it. But they ran into a machine known as Carthage that's, their coach has got more state titles than any other coach in history in Texas. But I just wanted to tip my hat to them for being able to make it to the show, and I was able to watch them play. And, dude, they got a running back, West Orange Stark does. He was 5'3", 190 pounds. Yeah.
Was he fast?
Apparently he squats 600 pounds. Yes. Oh,
my God.
And you could tell he was a just mighty mouse getting after it. But I saw them
Mustangs,
pop up.
right?
Yeah, I saw them pop up, and one of my sons was like, "Dad, that's West Orange Stark." They were, because they're like the number one fans of the podcast. Like, so they've memorized.
We do it for them.
Episode.
I mean, that's the only reason.
That's really who we're doing this for. Yeah, and the folks in Germany that are listening.
Yeah.
But yeah, they were like, that was one of the teams of the week. I'm like, dadgum, guys, you're right. Like, they had the press box burned down. They had the 112% on the weight room wall. You remember that, Jack?
Yeah,
the whole story behind that. But I wanted to give a shout out to those guys before we get into this week's team of the week. Up here on the wheel. As always, guys, be sure to drop those comments with your nominees. Add them to the wheel. We pick one team every week, but we're adding teams every week. So like I always tell you, your odds get worse by the week. Drop those comments, whether you're listening on Spotify, watching on YouTube, if you're watching on TikTok. Let us know who we need to throw on here. As always, it's brought to you by the Gridiron Spice Company. GridironSpiceCo.com. Use the code 4th and Ward. That's the number 4, THANDWARD, and you get 10% off your order. All right, episode 39, Team of the Week. Let's let it ride.
Is it? Give me a South Carolina school. Is
So
it
we're
Florida?
getting
So
Florida.
close to South Carolina. Baker School.
Baker High School, Baker School in Florida.
Let's take a look.
Now, I will say there was in some of that debate this past week on Twitter between who has the best high school football. The Florida folks, which don't get me wrong, I know Florida's got great athletes, but it sounds like their governing bodies dropped the ball too, and they let guys transfer left and right and all this and that.
Is this in Okaloosa? Oh
Mm,
my. Yeah, I bet it is. I bet they got some studs. I've heard that name, Okaloosa. I don't know where, but let's check them out. 11 and
11
1.
and 1.
Good Lord.
11 and 1. Heck of a ride. So did they run the table and lose in the second round maybe of their playoffs?
I
Yeah, it
don't know.
looks like
Whoever
it.
Chiefland is, I do not ever want to see that team because
No kidding. I'm trying to see if I recognize any of these names. Yeah, I've been down to Florida a time or two. We both have in our day.
I mean, Destin, I'm assuming that's Destin in Florida.
Yeah, definitely heard of Destin. But none of these other ones are really ringing a bell.
So it looks like second round of the playoffs.
Does it have a classification? Like if you go to standings?
So, oh my God, they were third in their district and they were 11 and 1.
Good
Florida
Lord.
class rural. I don't know what.
Whoa, what does that mean? How does Florida organize theirs? They not have like just,
We gotta
how
look this
seemingly
up.
everybody else does? Yeah, we're doing a deep dive here. Time to figure out how Florida does their realignments.
All right. Looks like they just did reclassifying too. All right. So I need classifications. All right. So we got class rural.
So
And
that's
then we
its own
have the
class.
A's.
Interesting. So are these smaller, I guess, than a
I'm assuming so.
I mean, that's got to be how it's organized here. This is very interesting. Yeah, I've never done a deep dive into how Florida high school football works.
Class rural is a special classification for small, less populated schools for fair competition.
Hey, okay. That at least sounds like they had some foresight into, set it up so some of those schools had a chance to do some things.
So how many? I mean, what numbers are we looking at here?
That's what I'm trying to figure out. What's the enrollment?
If I could type, look, it knows what I'm going to ask. All right, so all right, here's the classification. So let's just look at these. All right, one to 657, but then they have 1A to 499.
Maybe you have to petition to be in the rural. That's a word I've never been able to say.
Rural, yeah, that's a hard one.
Rural. Maybe I have to petition to be in that classification, even if I've got 600 something kids and I should be a 2A or whatever. Maybe it has to do with travel times. Like I don't know. That's interesting.
And maybe it's based on like geographic location. Like the rural schools are really out there, and they're not going to make them travel.
Yeah, because I mean, if you think about it, you get
Like a
around the
panhandle team.
Panhandle. Yeah, you get in the Panhandle and you got to go play somebody more Central Florida. Like you can't get on a boat and cross the Gulf of America.
Other teams. So it was a pilot program.
For this. So this was this
And it's going to be permanent.
interesting. Maybe that could be something that. I mean, maybe that could be something that South Carolina. I mean, maybe don't call it rural. God dang.
Yeah, it's kind of
Maybe
like
don't call
oil.
it that. Yeah. Maybe don't call it that, but like we said, put those charters in their own little thing. Just have them all play. Was
Yeah.
there? Yeah, there might be 10 of them, right? Make them all play each other. Who cares? Like round robin it.
I was trying to see a roster, like how many kids we had. I guess I could have done that on what's the schedule looking like?
So they got varsity. They carry a varsity, a JV, and a middle school. Okay. So the Baker Gators.
Baker Gators. Let's see some uniforms.
Yeah, let's see some uniforms. Let's see football stadium maybe at some point too. Garnet and gold. So Florida State colors
And a Florida logo.
And a Florida logo, but it's in Florida State colors. That seems odd.
Looks like we got Adidas. Had Russell at some point, but that's old, I think. It's
Now,
like Adidas is the new.
Where is this like on a map? Like, I'm trying to think of North Florida, I know is where you kind of get into.
I thought it was like South Florida, but no, it looks like Panhandle maybe. Yeah, it's Panhandle.
Okay. I mean, yeah, you're kind of getting in there, South Alabama, South Georgia, North Florida. Hey, now, this stadium looks pretty solid. I like the Gatorhead logo.
Yeah,
at least.
I know that thing is probably hard to paint.
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of detail.
Let's see if we can check out this. There's the school building, got baseball.
Now, is that the visiting bleachers? They look kind of off center a little bit.
They definitely are. And like when you look at, there's like another set. Like there's
interesting.
Yeah, I don't know.
Not my cup of tea, but you know what? They're out there winning 11 games a year.
Yeah.
Doing something right.
Yeah, they don't care what you have to say. They win an 11.
Yeah, they don't care about me out here in Texas.
But yeah,
I do like the fact that they take the time to paint the Gatorhead logo in the middle of the field. Hats off to them.
I mean, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, that's sick.
The color, I'm not bashing, but the green.
Well, that's how the University of Florida does it. You know, they have the green Gatorhead, but the blue and the orange are in the background.
Yeah, that's true.
I guess they're just kind of one off in that.
I feel like you could have just left it the grass color. Whatever, doesn't matter.
Hey, I mean, hats off to them.
Yeah, they take care of that thing. It looks pretty good. The paint looks good.
Does look like it's in good
shape.
They
got inflatable there.
Yeah, they do.
Got some brick retaining walls. That's kind of nice. Yeah.
Hats off to them. Episode 39, the Baker Gators. It's got a nice ring to it. 11-1 this year. Great season, guys, out there in Florida. Rural
district, rural division. Now I can't say it. Rural.
Anyway, appreciate you watching, guys. Hats off to the Baker Gators. Shout out to BYU, go win the Pop-Tart Bowl. Shout out to all the teams out here in Texas that played for a state championship this week. Shout out to Victory Plus and the folks that were streaming all the state games this week because they made this week go by faster for a lot of us coaches out here in the Lone Star State. Jack, I saw they got like over 1 million something views on that Victory Plus of the Texas high school football games.
That is nuts.
For the state week. I mean, that's crazy exposure right there. Like, you're going to be at AT&T Stadium. There's going to be, hundreds of thousands of people tuning in or watching the stream or all this and that. Yeah, that was pretty wild, man. It was a good week, but as always, guys, we appreciate your time wherever you might be listening from, whether you're here in America or I think we're up to like 8 or 9 different countries, Jack, that we're getting downloads in. So shout out to the folks in Poland.
Guten Tag in Germany.
Yeah. Obviously, we got a strong listening population out there in Germany. So I'll take that any day of the week, guys. We appreciate it. Merry Christmas to everybody, and we will catch y'all after the holidays.
Stay golden.
You locked in now with the fourth and wall. Fourth and wall. Adam, Jay, Texas, Carolina.